second thing, and I want you to know, is that everybody in here has a testimony. Not everybody's testimony is like mine. And there are some Christians that I know, I've had people tell me this. Man, I wish I had a testimony like you do. No, you don't. No, you don't. Because God forgives our sins, but there's consequences that linger. There's memories. There's images. There's things that don't go away. You don't want that. One of the best testimonies that I ever heard was by a girl named Crystal. And her testimony was that she went to church and Sunday school every day of her life, and that she never wore a short skirt, and she never wore a shirt that came down too low, and she always wore a cross so that everybody could see it. And she knew a lot of verses, and she could sing a lot of songs, and she was perfect. She said, but as I walked the halls of my high school, she said, I judged everyone around me. She said, because my pride and self-righteousness was so thick in my heart that all I could see was how short everyone else was falling. She said, and then one day God showed me that sin, that pride, that self-righteousness, that God hated just as much as what everybody else was doing. Whoever you are, if you're a Christian in here tonight, you have a testimony. It's either what God saved you out of or what He saved you from doing. It's one of the things I love about my wife's testimony. She was the rule keeper. She kept all of the rules, always. She did what she was supposed to do all the time. And then when she was about 17, she went through a crisis of faith where she questioned, is God real? Is Jesus real? Is the Bible real? And what she discovered was that at that same time, that she still didn't want to drink. And she still didn't want to party. And she still didn't want to have sex until she got married. And what she realized was that doing those things, or not doing those things, didn't make her a Christian. Because at this point, she wasn't sure if she was a Christian or not. And she still didn't want to do those things. So you can be a rule breaker or a rule keeper. Either way, all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. And you've got to know that if you're a Christian, He has saved you from much. And you've got a wonderful testimony. And you need to ponder on it. You need to ask God, show me what it is that you saved me from. The third and final thing is share the gospel. Aside from my pastor and my parents, in high school, I never had anybody share the gospel with me. You know why? Because I was the cool party jock. And I was, quote, intimidated. Nobody shared the gospel with me. But after that, a lot of people did. 17 times people shared the gospel with me before I came to know the Lord. 17 times. 17 different people shared the gospel with me before I came to Christ. When you're sharing the gospel, you don't know whether it's successful or not. Success is doing it. Because God's the evangelist. And your job is to throw seeds of truth in the gospel, and you just keep throwing and throwing and throwing, and you let God do what He's going to do. Because I tell you what, during that season when the Lord opened my eyes, I sat down one night and I wrote back my history from as far back as I can remember. And I remembered things and events. My coach in high school, who wouldn't curse, and he would just say, "Dadgummit," and I always made fun of him for it. He goes, "No, I'm a Christian. I'm trying to watch my tongue." And just even that little example, just thing after thing after thing after thing, God uses those things. So open your mouths, Christians, and and speak the gospel. I don't care how hard your coworker is or how far gone you think your family member is. Christ is infinitely more strong, and he can get it. And for those of you who are in high school and college, share the gospel. What a wonderful opportunity that you have to proclaim the gospel to those who are around you. I've gone kind of long. I apologize for that, but I appreciate you guys. Let me share a little bit of my heart with you tonight and what God has done in my life. He was so faithful to watch over me, to protect me. And Lord, I give you praise for it.